Okay, guys, back with some more comics from my X-Men box. Here's a very cool Nightcrawler miniseries, number 3. It's the only one I got, but they're usually pretty hard to find. I got this one. I need to get 1, 2, and 4. Here's my Iceman Limited Series, number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. I ain't had a chance to read those yet, but I'm sure they're pretty good. Here's my Beauty and the Beast miniseries, number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. That's a pretty good series that I have read. Okay, guys, here's my Long Shot series. This has the first appearance of Long Shot, Spiral, Mojo. Really good issues to have. I managed to pick them all up at the same time for 50 cents a piece at my comic book shop. I couldn't believe that they actually had them. But as I was looking at them, I noticed something funny about them. On the back here, these comic book bags actually have the sticky stuff already on them. And that's another question I have. If anybody knows what kind of bags these are, what they're called, I'd appreciate it if you let me know so I can get some more of these, because I'd rather get them like that than have to keep taping the backs down. But here's Long Shot miniseries number 1. Very, very good issues. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. And number 6. All in really good condition, too. Here's a comic that I collected in my other series, comic book collection I used to have. I thought it was a pretty cool comic, so I went and got it again. Noxo the Clown versus the X-Men, number 1. It's a pretty good comic to read. A little funny, but still pretty good. X-Men Special Edition, number 1. Now this says the very first adventure of the new X-Men. So I suppose it is. I thought Uncanny X-Men number 94 was, but apparently this was before that. It must be right after Giant Size X-Men number 1. Heroes for Hope, presenting the Uncanny X-Men number 1. This comic they made out, and it said all proceeds from this comic book are being donated to famine relief and recovery in Africa. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm sure they made a lot of money off this issue. Here's my X-Men Spotlight on the Starjammers, number 2 of 2. I need to get number 1. Really good issue. I like the Starjammers. Here's my X-Men Alpha, number 1. And here's X-Men Prime. X-Men Prime ain't really all that great, but well, it's a good comic. It's just not as good as I thought it was going to be. Very cool cover, though. Here's my Magneto, number 0. Pretty good comic. X-Men versus the Avengers, number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Pretty good comics. Mephisto versus the Fantastic Four, number 1. This is called Mephisto versus series. Mephisto versus number 2 versus X Factor. Mephisto versus number 3. Mephisto versus the X-Men. And Mephisto versus number 4. Mephisto versus the Avengers. Fantastic Four versus the X-Men, number 1. Fantastic Four versus the X-Men, number 2. And I don't have 3 and 4, which I do need to get. The X-Men and the Micronauts, number 3. I need to get 1 and 2, obviously. X-Men and the Micronauts, number 4. The X-Terminators, number 1. Inferno. Number 2. Inferno. Number 3, also Inferno. And number 4, Inferno. Here's my Marvels. These are really good books. This is the only one I've been able to find, and I believe this is book number 3 of the series. Spider-Man and the X Factor, number 3. Beat Up X-Men Adventures comic, number 7. Stephen King Dark Towers special. Ghost Rider poster. Okay, here's my Civil War issues. I really like Civil War. I ain't into the new comics very much, but the Civil War was really good. I don't have all the issues yet, but I'm getting there. I don't actually have any of the crossovers either. What I have for Civil War is right here. Civil War opening shot. Here's my Civil War number 1. Now these comics I didn't get for 50 cents a piece or 3 for $1. I actually paid for these. So this one was $5. This one was $1. Civil War's number 2. I think this was 3. Civil War number 3. I believe it was also $3. Civil War number 4. I paid $3 for this one. And Civil War number 5, I actually ordered this one off the internet, and I think I paid $4 for it. Bought it off eBay. And I need to get 6 and 7, I think, is all there are. And here is for hire, Civil War number 1, and I paid $3 for this issue as well. Okay, guys, that was my X-Men comic collection. Thanks for looking. I do have one more box I need to put up, which is a box that has my independents and stuff in it. And I'm going to put it up as my trade box. If anybody wants to trade comics, you can look at that video I'll be putting up. Thanks.